Okay, so it is time for my challenge recap and reaction to last night's episode. So prior to last week's episode, we see Kyle and Anissa working together and winning the challenge. Darrell and Amber get voted in by the house, and Kyle and Anissa throw Corey a bone and throw him in. Corey wins easily and steals Cam. CT and Big T get reunited and they're teammates again. And Amber is rogue. Big T is really happy to be working with CT again. It's all water under the bridge, but this time around she's focusing on herself. It's time for her to get her skull. Kyle helping Big T work out, or is he? Can't really trust him. He's so slimy, you know? He's working all angles. It's all for him. Kyle, CT, and Big T talk about who she would want to go against in the elimination to get her skull. Kyle is quick to throw Anissa, his partner, under the bus. He definitely wants another partner. It doesn't matter that they won last week, you know. He's like, I don't want to run a final with Anissa. Big T is adorable. I don't know how anybody can't like her. She's just so likable and sweet, like genuinely seems like a good person, and she really wants to do something great with her money and give back to her country. CT was training with Big T, really trying to get her angry and riled up and fiery. And he definitely did that when he said, "That's why I left you." And she just charges towards him with this fire inside of her. She definitely has fight and passion. Fessy and Kyle talk about CT being overrated. And like I said, Kyle is playing all sides. You know, we see him kind of have this alliance with CT, and then he's, you know, talking about CT behind his back. It's the Kyle game. You know, I wouldn't expect anything different. But, I mean, I would love to see a Fessy CT elimination. CT really needs to show Fessy who's boss. Nany is still regretting picking Fessy. Fessy works for himself. He's more of an individual player rather than a team player. We've seen it in the challenges. He's thinking of himself, which you do have to think about yourself. But when you're doing these challenges with someone else, your partner, you have to work together. There has to be teamwork, and he just doesn't have that. This season has really made Fessy seem really unlikable. He's just coming off very cocky and entitled, and he's just not enjoyable to watch. So the challenge was Mission Spy Dive, and it looked terrifying, especially terrifying if you're scared of heights and falling. The competitors had to jump out of a plane, memorize a puzzle, and then run to solve it, which takes memorization skills and some bit of endurance, and you have to be pretty crazy. Jump off a plane like that. But I mean, it is a challenge. Big T is petrified. I felt so awful seeing her like that. And Leroy was pretty scared too. So they're scared of heights. This is just one of those things that just, when I imagine being put in that situation, it's so terrifying. But I can imagine when people actually do it, it's enjoyable. You kind of feel like you're flying. Or it can still be pretty scary. Kyle went and he was too busy yelling. I doubt he even looked at the colors. Leroy and Casey outrun Anissa and Kyle easily, and they solve the puzzle in what seems like no time. And, you know, Kyle doesn't care. He's like, I'll just get a new partner. Or Big T, when it was time for the second round, had to sit by the door open the whole time. Anissa and Kyle got to pick the order, and Anissa really wanted to sabotage CT, but really she sabotaged Big T because that's his partner, and she was sitting by the door that whole time. And she was already scared to begin with. I give her major props for going through with this, because she could have easily said, no, I'm not going to do it. It's funny because Big T was so scared and she ended up loving that free-falling feeling. I did get enjoyment watching Fessy freak out before jumping out of the plane. He was like, oh my god, and his face all the way through it. We see partnerships that work better than others. Corey and Cam, this is their first time working together in this season, and they seemed like they were working well together. They were running together and keeping up a good pace together. Fessy, of course, leaves Nany. This, to him, is an individual game. He has to show how great he is at all times. CT was waiting for Big T, but then he got very frustrated with her when, you know, she couldn't run as fast as he wanted because they were in last place, and definitely did not handle it in the best way. She faced her fear, and it was definitely not the right move to humiliate her in front of everyone. and he's aware of that. So yeah, obviously Cam and Corey win that round, and it was a close call for who won the whole thing, but of course it went to Leroy and Casey. I think they said it was like 14 seconds or something they won by. Amber is so lucky she is rogue this week. If she wasn't, she would have been thrown into that elimination, so it worked out for her. I love the whole 80s theme party. I think that was really cute and fun. Corey was funny saying that Fessy doesn't know what 80s theme is. I mean, the whole tutu and thing, yeah, probably not. Alright, so the whole Fessy and CT fight, bringing out the old CT. I don't know why Fessy was talking to CT like that. He says that it was a compliment, but it obviously wasn't. He was just saying that he can beat him and, you know, CT is past his prime and whatever. And yeah, it just doesn't paint Fessy in the best light. And I'm here just not being able to take it seriously since they are in these costumes. It was hilarious when CT just snatched off the wig to argue with Fessy. I loved all the memes with this and all the commentary. Leroy was funny saying that CT would whoop him, and, you know, like, it's so true. Like, Fessy really thinks he's top dog, but he hasn't gone against CT. So, let's see it. Let's see it. I would like to see it. I wish CT didn't let Fessy get under his skin. I wish she just would have walked away. So when it comes to the house vote, there's not many people left. Like, we're really getting down to this. The final has to be close. Kyle, you know, tries to nicely say him and Anissa need to be separated or they're going to be continuing to go into elimination. And Fessy and CT just call him out. And Anissa gets hurt, obviously. It sucks. I feel bad for her. I don't think her endurance is at the level that other people are. We saw that with her running, but she has a lot of strong points, and, you know, she is a vet. She has a lot of experience. She's won a lot of eliminations, and she doesn't get any respect, which sucks, especially from people that are vets as well. You would think CT would understand, considering that people are saying he's not in his prime, and yeah, it's definitely a rough situation. Anissa was really trying to make her plan work of getting Nany to be the house vote, so then Leroy and Casey could throw in Big T as their vote, but it just wasn't happening. Nany has the connections that Anissa doesn't, so the house vote, you know, was obviously going to be Big T, and Leroy and Casey only had one option, and that was really Anissa, because Leroy wasn't going to throw in Nany, who's like a sister to him, or his girlfriend Cam. So yeah, when it comes down to the vote, when everybody votes in secret, they vote for Big T and CT, except for Kyle, who votes for Anissa and himself. He's still mad about the blind side. He really holds a grudge, and he's like, I need to get her back. So yeah, of course, it's a female elimination since Amber is still rogue, and it's Big T versus Anissa. It's the fire escape elimination, which is the one elimination Anissa did not want. I think they are both underrated. Big T did really well in this elimination, way better than I thought she would. She really killed it and blew it out of the water. She lapped Anissa, and Anissa was just struggling. It seemed like she kind of gave up. She wasn't able to get the rhythm and get going, and Big T was just doing amazing. It's definitely a really hard elimination from what I can tell, but I was so happy for Big T, for her to finally get an elimination win, for her to bounce back from her other seasons where she didn't do so well, and to get her skull. At the same time, I was sad for Anissa to miss out on another final. I thought it was awesome. Anissa was really happy that all the women left are women of color, which is awesome. So that means a woman of color will win the season. So since Big T won her elimination, she has the choice to leave CT and give him a taste of his own medicine. She decides not to. She stays with him. She is loyal. But she could have easily chosen Fessy, and that would have been a big blow, but she didn't. Kyle really tried to get Big T to go with Fessy because he knows when he gets Amber that they're going to be voted in. So, yeah. TJ says everyone has a skull, but there is still game to be played. The final is not upon them yet. Next week, we see a hamster ball challenge, and nobody trusts Kyle or CT. Fair enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more challenge content.